Welcome back to the Black Star video. Thank you for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about voting on blockchain, Cardano, and every other blockchain there is, the good and the bad. And if you like the content, hit that like button. If you want to subscribe, hit that subscribe button. Get the word out, Black Star. Let's get right into the video. Let's talk about it. Let's get it. So my name is Rich, and thank you for tuning in. Today I want to talk about voting on blockchain. Cardano and every other chain there is. What's good, what's bad? Is it the future, is it not? Let's talk about what's great about blockchain voting and how can it make your life easier and implement voting policies and voting options for just about everybody. Also, the way voting is done on blockchain now, is it good for the whole ecosystem? Is it centralized or decentralized? You make the choice. Let's talk about it and get into the video. A proposed way of voting is that you, the person, will take the option of voting, download the application onto your phone, register your blockchain wallet into the application, and identify yourself through either DIDs or some type of KYC method which verifies that it's you and the wallet belongs to you. And then as you do that, you can then, once you register yourself to vote, you can vote for the candidates, and then a vote is tallied, and just to make it short, and your vote is counted and registered in the blockchain, which becomes immutable. Means it can't be deleted, it can't be removed, and it identifies you as the person who voted for this particular party, person, and or thing or purpose. You'll have that option. The way the current system runs, it doesn't kind of give that option. You have the long lines, you have the waiting time, you have all the inconveniences of voting that there is, which makes people not want to vote and makes it very encumbersome for people to vote. In blockchain, it would be 10 times more easier, and with the registration of DIDs, which is digital identifications, which are definitely coming in the very near future, will give people more freedom and options to vote for the way and style they want to vote. Also, a secure method of voting, so that way they can be recorded and it can be private, just known that a person voted, right? Their information and or identity can be obscured, so that way only the person who knows who they are and are labeled and ID'd between the government agency and themselves will know that they voted for this particular person, place, or thing, or purpose. And this is the future. We take a look at this article and take a short read. The 2020 presidential election boasted the highest in U.S. voter turnout in the 21st century. The country still falls behind the turnout in comparison to other developed nations, according to the Council of Foreign Relations. Overall turnout in 2020 U.S. national elections lied at 62%, falling 3% below the 65% average of members of the Organized Economic Cooperation and Development, meaning that we still have a ways to go. So even though it's 3%, is still a huge number in comparison to our competitors in voting. But if we implement blockchain technology, which give people the freedom and choice to vote in the comfort of their home, place of business, or work environment, it does two things. It gives you the luxury and comfort to do as you please. It also does the option of giving more people access to vote. You have a more accessibility to vote when you want to vote and how you want to vote, without having to wait again on long and cumbersome lines and making things complicated for the other party. A lot of Americans work 2 jobs, maybe even 3, and taking the time out to go vote is not an easy task. Blockchain will eliminate that and probably even raise our numbers well above the 3% barrier that we're trying to face to be in comparison to our competitors. However, we need this implementation so that way, like what happened in the 2020 elections, we won't have it again. That means there'll be a fairer system, immutable, and recorded on the blockchain where no one can say that there was a misvote, mistallied vote, overvoted, someone counted too many times, or what have you. This would be a fairer system. It would be equally accountable on both ends, and then no one can ever again deny what the vote record was, like what happened in 2020. The potential benefits of voting on the blockchain are combat voter fraud, boost turnout, maintain transparency in elections, reduce costs, make voter counting process faster and more accurate, ensure every vote is counted. So just like what I said, this makes the voting process a lot better for everyone else, including you and me, and it makes sure that we can get a voter turnout at a faster pace instead of waiting a day or two for an election to be counted. We can have it the same day. It can be turned the same day. Within hours, we'll have an election done. By that night, we'll know who the president, senators are, and who aren't going to be. We will know that immediately. The counts can be tallied at record speeds, and also they are secured, and there won't be any voter fraud. The problem would happen in the 2020 election. There was a high speculation of voter fraud, and mayhem ensued. We had so much going on during that election that people were doubtful that the process is fair and what have you. However, there wasn't any type of voter fraud. It was recorded correctly, and there weren't any problems. The right person won the election, and the wrong person was ousted. And that's the way it works. The people made the decision of who they want to be the president. But with this system, there wouldn't be any speculation or ideology that there's some type of fraud going on. It will be recorded in the blockchain. It will be immutable. Every person is counted. Every person is verified through a DID system, digital identification system, that is controlled by the government and no one else. We won't have this voter fraud. The person will be vetted through the blockchain as well to make sure that it's comparable to the person that the centralized system for identification is also making sure that they are. We already kind of use a centralized form of verification that is controlled by our government, who knows who we are, and that system has never been hacked. Not that we know of anyway. However, with blockchain technology, it will make it 10 times harder for someone to try to imitate you or make believe they're you or have a duplicate identification of you. This system makes it almost impossible for fraud to happen. Well, let's look at the takeaways. Key takeaways. Blockchain technology provides a platform for creating a highly secure, decentralized, anonymized yet audible chain of record used presently in cryptocurrency systems. This same technology could also be used to record and report votes and prevent many types of voter fraud in elections, especially after the misinformation surrounding the 2020 US presidential election. The world may be ready for blockchain voting on a larger scales. So the system is ready. We're here. They want this. The people want it. We need it. This makes things a lot fairer, and there'll be no more speculation and no more mayhem in regard to who won, who didn't win. It doesn't make a difference to me who won. It doesn't make a difference who's going to win, who lost. It's none of my business. The person who won, it's the people chose, and I have to live with it. Whether I like the other party or not, it is the voice of the people, and I must respect it. I must respect the voice of the people. We continue. The use case of blockchain voting software are many and diverse. Its ability to emerge and manage consistency is crucial to the future of society, not just to produce a transparent outcome, but to encourage all people to participate in their communities. Currently, the technology is still in its infancy, but it matures along the young voters. It will one day help and looks to be the very key part of our collective future. They haven't developed a system yet that can actually be implemented so that we can use in day-to-day process. What really is saying is that they haven't developed software for the average person to go ahead and vote, the apps and everything else that goes along with it. The DID system that's coming, there are some states that do have DIDs or are capable of having DIDs right now, but they're not using it. So it's in its infancy because the software isn't developed. However, the technology is there. All they have to do is implement it, and that's it. And then teach the masses how to use it. It's very simple. It's going to be a very short process. There are going to be some people who are going to have difficulties with it, especially the elderly and those who aren't that tech savvy. However, with a little bit of time and effort, everyone will get it, and it still will implore more people to vote in this country. We'll get a better turnout, better election system. More people will voice their opinions on who they want in office, the policies they want to take place, and the efforts that they want to vote for. These things will happen. Simplifying the system and making it fair is the future, and the younger generation are going to take advantage of it. The current system and method of blockchain voting is not, in my opinion, decentralized in any way because it's weighted by the wallet size, meaning that the amount of coins you have in your wallet determines the amount of voting power that you have as an individual. So one person doesn't equal one vote. one person with the large amount of ADA and or the coin in Pacific can make voting differences. They can leverage the vote and sway a vote to the way they want, especially if enough of them are together. If you have a party of people who have a collective amount or huge amount of that particular project's coin and or blockchain's coin, then that vote can turn and swing their way. So it doesn't make it fair, in my opinion. Case in point, SNEC is a meme coin that was voted on to be part of the LenFi system, which used to be known as AADA. And platform had made a call to vote, let the community vote on the platform who hold their tokens on whether they wanted SNEC to be part of its lending platform on another scale. And the voting went through, and just so that you can see, there was a small margin of 50,000 AADA coins that led the difference in whether SNEC was actually going to be able to be part of his lending platform. Although it is already, but I'm using this voting portion to show that it is a small margin. It wasn't 2.2 million people that voted on one end, and then the other one was 2.2.7. That is not the case. That is the amount of AADA or LenFi tokens that were used to vote in this process. This goes to show you that it needs to be fairer. If enough larger wallets voted, in my understanding, there was enough smaller wallets that leveraged enough ADA or AADA coins or LenFi coins to sway the vote back to, if not, the large wallets that did vote would have won and not allowed SNEC to be part of the ecosystem. Now, we don't know what really happened, but if we know people who had larger wallets and they wanted this to happen, and guess what? It happened. And this is what this vote showed. However, did mass amount of wallets did show up to vote for this to be part of the platform, so now it is. So in this case, even though a large amount of people did come out, or a large amount of wallets came out, we don't know if they were actual people, but a large amount of wallets came out and voted for this particular meme coin to be part of the lending platform, and it won. Another case in point, and I know people may argue with me about this, and that is fine. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. So another example was Cardano's vote on whether to change the K parameter and so forth, and to lower the pool fee. And this was a test, a pilot of it. But however, when we go to look at 796 pools actually voted, of those 796, 365 voted for change to go to 1,000 and lower the pool fee. Of that number, 296 billion ADA that is staked to those pools also was counted. Again, in smaller pools don't have that much pledge. And of those smaller pools, or those pools that did vote, 61 million ADA pledged was also counted for the same vote. And we can also assume that of those 396 pools, or 65 pools, my apology, only 309 were SPOs. So there's a chance that multiple pool owners actually voted, but only 309 SPOs of 3,000 pools voted in this comparison. So 10%, we can roughly say, maybe 15% of the SPOs actually voted for this proposal. But the fairer metric that we can look at is the number of delegators. To a degree, and some of this is going to be swayed if some of these wallets are multiple wallets, but 202,000 delegators voted to change the parameter. 161,000 chose to keep it. Very interesting. Again, if we go by the metrics, most of which is weighed by the weight of the wallet, then it would be the heavier wallets that win, not the number of votes counted by individual wallets. We need a fairer system. At this time, I'm not going to go through what is a fairer system, but we need a fairer system so that way we can be counted and people can voice their opinions on what they want. And a way to leverage and get people's voices known. Let them know that these proposals and these voting and governance options are there. A lot of people don't know. Maybe to implement an alert in a wallet, some type of alert throughout all the wallets that a vote is happening, we need your attention. Right now, we don't have that. So if we implement blockchain technology for voting in society and everyday practice, it is a better system. The system that we need. That way we won't have the same mayhem that we had in the 2020 elections. No one can ever say that the voter fraud, or there is voter fraud, and someone cheated and who didn't cheat, and there weren't the votes counted appropriately. It can happen instantaneously, 100% with accuracy. and they'll have a time frame within the applications to vote. And if you don't vote by that time frame, then you don't get the vote. But we'll give more options to people who have an cumbersome lives and difficult lives that they can't make it to the polling stations, and also make people's lives easier that they don't have to stand in these lines if they don't want to. Still keep the lines open, keep the people who don't understand the block technology an option to go out in the lines and still vote and cast their ballots as they should, but give them also the option to vote with applications and software that are secured, decentralized, and centralized to an extent, but fair and equal for everybody. This is what we need. On the other end, voting by weighing your wallet for a decision, because if someone has enough of one coin to say this is the way they want to go, and if they have enough individuals to support that same ideology, then they can centralize the vote and make it go their way. That would not be a fair system at all. I believe that if we're going to do that, the wallet should be limited in its voting power, not completely in its total weight, which makes it completely unfair to someone who has a lot less and or financially could not compete in buying and purchasing that amount of that coin, that blockchain's native asset or supplemental asset. That's just my piece. Again, my name is Rich. Thank you for watching the video all the way to the end. If you like the content, hit that like button. If you want to get notified, hit that bell notification, subscribe to the channel, get the word out, Blackstar. I know I haven't been there with my ClubHouse chat group. No one's been coming, so I'm trying to keep going there. If you guys notify me, you in the ClubHouse and you want to be part of it, let me know. I'm here to chat. I'm going to do live streams in maybe another couple months, get the user base up, and we can go from live stream chatting to go ahead and go to the ClubHouse and chat there too. I'm all about crypto. This is my passion. I love this. Thank you for watching the video. Support your boy, Blackstar. Light in the darkness. Peace.